right, guys, here we are. So we are back, and I'm going to fix this camera angle here a little bit. See if we can get not so zoomed in here. Hey, Frank, can you give me a hand with this? Heather, can you give me a hand with this? Pate, how's it going, man? We are fired up. This storm means business. Will you just hold your finger on there to focus it? I'm blurry. Just on the little button on the front. No, right. This just kind of barely press, and it should focus on me. Yeah, just barely. Push all the way, just barely. Like it barely goes down. Gotta have the special touch.
Yeah, I know it has a special touch.
All right, just try to focus it with this.
Yeah, why is it on auto?
It should have been on auto. I don't know. There we go. I think. No, just spin the little one. Oh, got out of whack on us whenever the other way. There. Getting close there. There we go. Oh. All right, there we go. So we're going to work with that. All right, so here we go. So again, we've got two powerful storms. We've got more still developing back here. We're watching this storm right now. This is the one that means business here. So this is Boulder here. So it got going right on the south side, and just as it passed Boulder, and now it's moving towards Lafayette. Okay, so what is the pants on this? I love it. Everybody always cares about what I'm wearing more than anything. I don't get it. Anyway, so here we go. So we've got right in here. This is our storm here. So it hasn't really started to drop the biggest hail yet, which is okay. If you notice, not a lot of roads right through this section. But look right here. Here's where everybody's at. All right. So this is Lafayette, or is this Louisville? This is Louisville right here. And then here's Lafayette right here. So it's going to move north side of Louisville, not Louisville, Kentucky. We're Louisville, Colorado, Louisville, CO, and then Lafayette, CO. So we're hitting all the towns and cities that you're used to in other states. These are the ones in Colorado that match up with that. But here we go. So now we got the new update here. And look, let's see if the CCs, there they go. Look at them. They start to bottom out here on this storm. All right, so we're starting to see some of that bigger hail starting to try to fall out. Let's look at it here from a 3D view. Let's see what we've got here. Here it is. So you can see the nice tilt that we talked about earlier. It's got the nice tilt. The algorithm thinks the hail is right here. It's really not even falling for the most part. It's still kind of being held up in here, and it's trying to develop its way and actually fall down to the ground. Probably starting to see some of the larger hail objects though starting to fall though. All right, so we're gonna jump off of the 3D view here. There, we just had a quarter report. Okay, now this was back when the storm was weaker. Okay, so this is 2 miles north of Marshall. Okay, so we've got Marshall, which is right here. So they're saying 2 miles north. I'm going to assume they're right here on the interstate here that runs from Marshall into Boulder. So they reported quarter-size hail with this storm as it moved through that area. And the storm was weaker there, okay? So it was producing the larger hail, and now it's actually getting ready to move out here. So this is what we're watching here as this storm basically begins to move into Louisville and Lafayette. This storm means business. Now, we still have a couple other storms. Let's take a look at them real quick while it's in between Louisville and Boulder here, because it's right in between. Let's jump out here and take a look at what we have going on here. So we had this storm earlier that moved through Plattsville, produced quarter-size hail as it did so. And then we're still watching this one back here. This one did produce some golf ball size hail northwest of Firestone. I remember we were watching this one as we had the camera of the battery issues with everything going dead. This storm now moving off to the north and east, just to the east of Longmont, heading towards Plattsville. So they're kind of training. They're hitting the same areas. So you are going to get some areas that are going to have multiple storms that have hit the same area. But for the most part, right now we've got we've got four storms that we're really watching, with another fifth one that's basically working its way out. So we've got our storm right here. That's pretty rural now. It's dropping some very large hail, very, very large hail falling out of this storm right now. The storms have a tendency to do that. Then we've got our storm right here that's now moved. It's north of Hudson here. It's out in the middle of nowhere as well, so we're just going to leave those there. We're watching these two storms as they move through Gilchrist and Plattsville. For the most part, those are about to move into nothing. And then we've got our storm back here that's just to the east now of Boulder, and that's moving towards Lafayette and Louisville, and it's getting ready to move in. And when I say move in, it's probably starting right now. So we're gearing up here for this storm to actually move in. And check this out. This is the first storm that's actually done this, I think, today, as far as I can tell here. And if we zoom in here, look at this. This one hasn't even made it out. Hasn't even made it out. This is Idaho Springs right here. So we've got, I think Georgetown is right back here to the west. I know this area pretty well. Done some skiing out here to the west. And so these storms have been firing on Loveland Pass, the way, as far as I can tell, that's what they're firing on. So you've got your almost 14,000 foot tall mountain back here that is firing these things off. And this one, the first one, it's already producing hail, and it hasn't even crossed the front range yet. So we're gonna have to watch this one. This one might be pretty serious here. So we're gonna watch that. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Hasn't made it. Not yet. So we're still waiting. We're waiting on this next radar frame, because I think it's going to update, and the hail's going to be right in here on this next radar frame update. Okay, so we're looking at areas like Superior and Louisville. So it's probably, so we're waiting on that frame to update, but as it does so, we're probably going to see it update with the hail falling in this area right in here. Okay, so that's what we're watching for. We're going to see what it actually produces. It looks like we might have even, I don't know if this is the CCs. Look at them bottom out right up in here. So we're talking about some really big hail, I think, beginning to fall here in this storm. Okay, so just waiting. It's a waiting game. It's always waiting, right? So it's been the theme of 2018. Let's take a look at the warning that was issued for this thunderstorm. So they issued the warning, and remember, all our warnings that we've had today have been for quarter size hail. The biggest one's $half size hail. This one's got ping pong balls for it. So this is one of the bigger warnings that I've seen issued by the National Weather Service in Boulder. Boulder was hit with 2-inch hail. They had that one warned for quarter size hail. So just so you know, that's kind of what we've gotten from the National Weather Service today. The hail sizes have been a little bit lower than what the storms have actually produced. These storms have had a mind of their own. If they wanted to make big hail, they made big hail. That's the way that they've rock and rolled. So I would expect this one, again, dropping bigger than ping pong ball size hail, in the neighborhood of golf ball to 2-inch size hail. And we're just waiting on that next frame to update here. So we're at 29. Surprised that we haven't actually had that next frame update. I'm wondering if the radar is having some issues here. Hey, have you guys got an update on that radar? Okay. Just making sure that we're not the only ones here. So bring the hell to Missouri. I like it. I'd take some hell in Missouri. What part of Missouri? Where are you looking for? Well, we're waiting for radar frames to come in. Where are we talking about? We're at Missouri. We are having a radar delay. Hopefully we'll get all the frames in between that come through this. But basically we had our last update was at, let's see, what time would that be? What time is it now? So 7:29 was the last update that we had on our radar here. So we're at 7:37 Mountain Daylight Time, and so we still haven't. So we're about 8 minutes in here on this update here. So we're just waiting to see when we're going to get that. O'Fallon, Missouri. So we're talking St. Louis Metro. I would take that all day long. And we got, let's see, we want ping pong ball to, I don't know, is that racquetball? Tennis ball maybe? Is that tennis ball? Ping pong ball to tennis ball? Is that what that one was? So we're going to see here. It says the next update's coming in 10 seconds. Let's see if it shows. It's been saying every minute it updates. So it just hasn't had a radar 2 update 2. We'll see here. Are we going to get one? doesn't look like we are. Poor timing, that's what Frank says, and I would agree with him here. So we're just waiting on a nice radar frame to come in. So you can see we just posted the link to our map. This thing is, we've been mapping these storms all day long. Well, not all day long, but for the last couple of hours. If you were watching us this morning, we were forecasting the hail earlier. So just stick with us here. We're waiting on this radar frame to update. So this is actually just a feed here from our weather source provider that we have. The radars, they're all the same. Everybody's got them. Your local news in Denver, they're using this radar right now, so they're waiting on the feed just like we are. We use a radar software that has dual polarization, which we've actually trained our staff how to use specifically for hail. So that's what we watch for, is hail. We've actually edited and changed the software to make it match to where we can quickly pick out where large hail is falling, and that's kind of why we get the pinks the way that we have them. It's a little bit different than what you might see from your standard radar, but we've spent a lot of time and a lot of money really to get this thing exactly how we want it, so that way we can show you hail as good as possible here. So we're going to see here, I'm still not seeing any radar update. We might try to bounce and take a look from a different angle just to see if we have a different, which we will. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go from Cheyenne here. Just to see, we want to see if we have anything good here. Cheyenne, so we do have a later update, and so in Cheyenne, now this is much higher off the ground than what we would be at if we were pulling from Denver. So from Cheyenne here, we are looking at this storm at about 6 feet off the ground. So it looks a little bit different here. John says his radar just updated, so we may give that a go here, but it's showing it over Louisville here. So let's see if we can go back down here now and get it to reload with Denver. Denver, we're going to pick it up closer to 2,000 feet. So we've got 5,000 feet of space that we're going to actually be able to see much better here with the Denver load. And there we go. There it is. So look at this. So we've got, again, the low CC values. We've got it all here, guys. So we've got nice hook right here on the storm. You can see it kind of bulge around here. You can see, again, that nice big hail core that we have. And then if we come back over here, look at all the greens and blues that are matching up. All right, so we're talking. I'm gonna go 2-inch hail with this right now. 2-inch hail falling in the Louisville area right now. So this is some pretty significant hail that we have falling to the ground right now. Let's look at it from 3D. Let's look at it from Hail Trace 3D here, so we can see what it looks like. And nope, we don't have any of the upper levels. So we've just got the bottom scanned. So that's what we're looking at. John says 2-inch hail. That's what I just said. Me and John, we tag team these things enough. We know what we're. Every now and then we do something right. So anyway, so again, the low CC values. Hopefully, we're getting some more scans in here. So we've got our 0.9 degree tilt. We've got our 1.3 degree tilt now. You can see how that tilt actually picks up the storm at a different angle. So things coming in slow right now from Denver. They're not loading our radar at the pace, the speed that we'd like, but we're going to take it, we're going to work with it, and we're going to master this storm. We're going to have it exactly where you need to know the large hail is happening at. So getting text messages, getting the whole works here that we're working through right now. So again, so let's see what else we have going on since we've got the new frame to come in. Let's see here. Whoop. We don't want 3D because we don't have all of our scans. So we've still got our storm over here. This is going to hit masters and just a whole lot of nothing, but just going crazy out there. And the algorithm is not going to pick up the size of hail, but what we are going to see. Allison, are you watching? I need to know. We're looking for Allison. Wait, give us a wave, Allison, if you're on here. We need you. So the radar is not going to pick up the hail size with these storms because it's only got a couple of layers. Now we're getting more layers come in. You can see them. The layers are actually going to pop up right here as they come in. So we got 0.5, 0.9, 1.3. We got 1.8 just off the screen. Well, that's probably not off your screen. and then we got 2.4 right there. And so we're just going to keep watching those come in. And as they come in all the way up through the atmosphere there, we're actually going to see, be able to see exactly how big the radar thinks this hail is. So, and we're going to see how often this is going to actually update. So we had an update at 39, so it'll be 739, and then 742 we got another update, it looks like, that came in. So that's good. We do have a quarter report, probably one of the initial reports to come in there. But again, solid 2-inch hail. Looks like it's coming in here, and looks like the storm is probably, so we just got our first hail marker here, and I don't know if it's actually been able to read the whole thing, but it does look like, I mean, if you look at what the storm looked like a couple frames ago, let's see if we can get them. So we're going to have to take a look here and see if we can get them here, but a couple of frames ago we had a real nice inflow notch that was actually sucking into the storm. Now it's more of a ball, and so not looking quite as healthy as it was a few minutes ago, but it was definitely dumping its hail on Louisville. I don't know how much we're going to get in Lafayette. Hello, Ben. How's it going? So I don't know how much hail we're going to get in Lafayette here, but we are watching that hail really kind of dump out there. I'm getting some past data here. Yeah, here you go. See, look how nice that hook was, sucking everything in. Really big hail falling down here on the south side of the storm as it really began to ramp up and move into Louisville, and then it kind of did its hail dump. Actually, notice that we didn't get those radar frames, so those did not show up. Those are not going to show up, it looks like. So that's just some missing data that the radar was unable to do. So we jumped from 29 to 39. So we actually had a 10-minute span right in here that we're just not going to know what actually happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. We had 2-inch hail fall though. So this was some good hail, I think, that dumped through here. It did its hail dump is basically what happened. All the hail fell out, and the storm right now is on a weakening phase as it moves into Lafayette. So now we're going to see, is this going to, there we go, golf ball report comes in. Just like that, like clockwork. 1 mile north-northwest of Louisville. Again, you know, we said 2-inch hail. Wouldn't be shocked to see some of that come in here in a little bit too. These reports kind of trickle in. If you're actually a subscriber of HailTrace, you were alerted to this quite a while ago. And here we go. It's going to try to jump back up here. I don't know if this is I don't know what this little tail appendage is. See if it can get going before it moves out of Lafayette now. It's going to be interesting to watch. So, but notice that the trend has been just a little further south with each storm. Okay, so we've got this next storm that's going to roll out here. Okay, so this is Rawlinsville. Remember, this storm right here, we started talking about this one at Rawlinsville. Wasn't nearly as strong as this one is, but we started talking about this one at Rawlinsville, and it was right over in here, right? So now, next one is down a little bit further south. Okay, so this one is going to V-line Broomfield. Okay, so that's what we're going to see here. All right. So the marker is trying to jump back up on this storm. I still think we're probably dropping some decent hail in Lafayette. I don't know that it's necessarily just stopped. It has the nice low CCs, and if they've had good CCs up in this part of the state with these storms today, they've dropped good hail. So I don't think that this is actually necessarily just going to stop dropping big hail, even though the marker jumped down on it. We've got our inflow right here. We're going to switch back to single panel here. So that way we can, I like it. It's a lot bigger that way. All right, so here we go. So we're zoomed in here. So we've got our storm. Here's Lafayette right here. Here's Louisville. So right here just to the north of Louisville, we had the big hail basically moved across. I think we're still seeing some of that fallout. Allison made it. She's here. Thataway. All right, so we had the big fallout that actually occurred right back in here, and I think it's still dropping some hail. So it looks like it is still getting some big hail here. So that's what she said. I like it. All right, so we still got some big hail here falling, okay? So if we switch to our CCs here, there they are. There's the low blues and greens here. So, and again, when we've had this and the radar echoes to match, we've had golf ball size hail every time. All right, so every time today, it's matched up. The radar's doing an awesome job with it. Doesn't matter what size the hail marker says it is. We switch to our product here that tells us what size of hail is actually falling here. And all this orange right in here is basically, it's putting it at about an inch. So about an inch, inch and a quarter. But we're getting golf ball, and it's actually right out over here right now, not back over here. They did have some hail here. Grant with Dent Wizard in the house. Dent Wizard, how's it going? Allison is going to get those sky diamonds. Just know it. All right, so storm moving towards Lafayette. There's the update on the algorithm there. Says it got a little smaller. There's the chance of severe hail with this. So if you want to know what HailTrace puts it, so we've got, according to our algorithm here, we've got about a 60 to 75% chance of severe hail. That's 1 inch in diameter right here over Louisville and Lafayette. I'm gonna go 100% chance of severe hail right now in Louisville. They are getting severe hail, but sometimes it just doesn't like to do it the way that it should be done. We've got inflow coming in. This is maybe kind of your outflow band. We saw it on some of the other storms. Inflow coming in right here, and we've got big hail right up in here. And again, the storm it's trying to reorganize, so it's not as good as it was right back over here when it was over Louisville, but it is still dropping its hail right now over Lafayette. Now the question is to remain seen is, will this updraft over here, will it take off? Let's look at it from the echo tops. Let's see what it's doing there. And it's still tall. Look at it. We're still popping almost 50,000 feet over here. So, huh? That's the Louisville storm. Is that what he wanted me to see? The 2 inch hail? Yeah. Maybe a little bigger than 2 inches. It's a big hailstone there. So we always say here at HailTrace, size does matter, and it's a really key factor here. You know, we're talking 1/4 of an inch matters when we're talking hail here. So size matters big time. And yeah, so we had 2 inch, almost tennis ball size hail, John says. I think that's definitely close. In Louisville, we had golf ball size hail that moved through Lafayette. No reports of tennis ball size hail, but you heard us call it here. You heard us call the 2 inch hail well before that report came through. Those echo tops are shooting up here. So again, the storm may be doing a little bit of a cycle right now, but we're showing tops around 45,000 feet. Here, so this storm is still going to town here. It means business. All right, so we've got our 2 storms. I'm not too worried about this storm up here by Gilchrist. A lot of this area was hit by this cluster of storms earlier. Every 1/4 inch counts. That's right. Right, Matthew called it right there. Every 1/4 inch counts. All right, so we're jumping back here. We're going to see this again. The storm continues to dump its hail. Let's see if we can watch it happen. We do have reports of car damage in Louisville from that storm. This is minutes after, guys. This is you can't get better than this on TV. So if you're not watching, if you're just not paying attention, or you're turning it off and turning it back on, I don't know what's going on. This is good TV right here. All right, so here we go. Look at the hail dump. Watch it over Boulder. Ba-boom, goes up. Look at all that hail. And I think if we go back, if we rewind the tape here, and what we find is the storm was right here, and we said it didn't look like it was dumping its hail yet, but it was going to on Louisville. Louisville's right in here. Watch this. Here it goes. Boom. Just drops the hail all over it. And now here we're at, and look, we don't have hardly anything up here, so that means all this pink is getting ready to go away. And so we're gonna have to see some new development actually occur for this storm to continue to produce large hail. But it's really cool to watch it as it developed here. Watch, so we have nothing here, and then the hail begins to form right on top of Boulder. Again, I think we were talking, this was on our first live feed, we were talking about the hail developing in Boulder, and but it looked like as that storm went up on Boulder, Colorado, that it wasn't able to produce the hail. But right up here, we had severe hail was developing. Then, look at it. It just continues to develop it, but it's really not pushing it out to the ground yet. Not Louisville, Kentucky. Who said Louisville, Kentucky? We're talking Louisville, Colorado, guys. Louisville, Colorado. Then look at it. Right here, we start to see it fall out, but still a lot of big hail up here in this core. Okay? And then it drops to the ground right there. And this was on top of Louisville as it did that. Okay? So Louisville, Colorado, there we are. And now all the hail is basically dumped out of the cloud. And so now we go back to watching to see, is it going to do it again? So that's the question. It's got a little hail marker now, maybe starting here, so maybe some new growth. We're going to have to watch it here. It had the tall top, right? So we looked at the echo tops, but the one thing that the echo tops don't show is there anything underneath it to actually get that to push up? Okay, so that's the question is there anything underneath it to push that up? Jason got a couple dents from the storm, sent me some video this morning of the storm in Salt Lake City. Said he had a couple dents in his car. It's good stuff out there, Salt Lake City, little 2-star map. We don't get those very often, but solid 1.25 inch hail. We'll take that all day long. Eddie wants a 5-star. Eddie wants to see me up here on the green screen with no pants on, I think. Saw that you still processing the file or only exterior experts. Not for sure what he's asking on that one. Derek did call Louisville. Nice. Man, lots of comments. Hope everybody's enjoying the live feed here. It's fun with us to get up here and talk with you guys. So, yeah, I don't know what this storm is doing right now. It looks pretty crummy, but check this out. Here we go. Here we go again. Coal Creek, you guys see that? Look at there, Coal Creek. If we're not at 5-star map yet, if this guy comes across and bombs off like all the other ones do, we will be. Because this one's got its eyes on Broomfield. Okay? Now look here. Oh, here goes this one too. So again, we're wondering, was the updraft going to redevelop? Looks like it's going to try. Look at this down here. Another little shower down here by, what is this, Waukene? Is that what that is? Yeah, Waukene Park, Hidden Valley. So this is I-70, just south of I-70 coming out. So that one would V-line if it can go up here. We'll see if it does. But if this one goes up, and look at there, new development, inflow notch. Look, you guys see that? We've been talking about these same looks on these storms over and over and over again. Oh, okay, Jordan helping. Okay, I see one. I'm getting a little bit here. Denver chances are slowly increasing. John would be correct. There's a reason why we keep him around, because he knows what he's talking about. Let's see what all we got going on here. All right, so we'll make sure that we got cameras, batteries. They are still charging up here, so hopefully this guy will last long enough to get us to the next battery charge. All right, so 2 storms to watch right now. 2 storms to watch. Both of them are in areas where we do have population or are moving into areas that with population. 2-inch report just now reported in Lafayette. So that's big time hail. That might push us over the top. I don't know what the map looks like. Do you guys want to see the map? Let's just look at it. Let's look at the map. Let's see what it looks like. This is how easy it is to get access to your hail map. Matt, how's it going, man? It's good. It's good for business. It is good for business. All right, let's take a look at it here. We don't need Jacksonville, Florida. Let's go to the dashboard. It's going to take us this long to see what we got here. Let's see what it looks like. Matt wants to see the map. Look at all that hail. Wow. Man, that's a bunch. All right, so here's what we got. Look at it. So we've had several storms here. So we had, I can't remember if this was a north split or not. I don't think this one was, but it might have been from one off the mountains here. But we had our storm that went to the north right through the south side of Fort Collins here. And that one looked pretty good. Then we had this storm right here that went on the north side of Longmont. This was one of the first storms. This actually happened right about, so this started producing its hail almost the same time that the storm down here in Boulder started to happen. So very, very close to about the same time. Then that storm, as it went off to the east, re-intensified here, and then it split and produced this storm. So you can see, I mean, it's just like a cluster of storm after storm after storm. Jordan says this is a 5-star map for sure. Frank says 4-star right now, but we'll see. We're going to see here. Look, we've got photos though starting to get populated in here. Let's take a look at some of those. There we go. Well, that's an okay looking photo, but that's why it's in the little orange here. So right, you're gonna get some hail like that in your orange. Sometimes it's damaging, sometimes it's not. Let's take a look. There we go. That's a nice hailstone. I like it when they're kind of compacted together like that and looking a little white. That's a quarter right there. So that's pretty big. That's probably two and a half. I mean, that's a big hailstone right there. So that's Colorado Boulevard and Highway 52. Given the exact intersection. There we go. University of Colorado. They don't win many football games, but they can make some good hail. Take that all day long. John says, cut him some slack. He's working on photos. So those of you that don't know, we have 3 meteorologists working on this right now. I've seen Matt chiming in here. Matt's our director of operations, so he's working right now. Well, we've got a full team going here right now on the Denver hailstorms, right? So Denver getting popped. The whole team is geared up, ready to go. We've got Heather, we've got Frank in the back room back here, and the Hail Palace. They're getting after it. They are the ones responsible for all of this that you see, and so yeah, lots and lots going on here. Everybody staying busy, everybody working here, and we are just kicking it here, having fun. Let's take a look at the radar. Let's go back to live, see what we got going on here. Look at all the 2-inch reports now coming in, rolling in here for Lafayette and Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to finally got me here. So all the hail reports rolling in for Louisville, Colorado, Lafayette, Colorado, and this storm's starting to take off now back here as it gets ready to roll over the Front Range here. We're gonna see it here. Too expensive on hotels. Tyler wants Indy to get hit. So Tyler wants Indy to get hit, and boom, check it out. There goes our storm again up here. It's going to go right towards. This is the same storm that hit hit Louisville, Colorado, and there is not a whole lot to this town. There's a few roads here, so we'll up the house count a little bit as this storm really tries to intensify and gets a little bit stronger. But yeah, it's not going to hit a whole lot of stuff here. We got a nice little neighborhood, it looks like, right here. Get clipped by the storm here, so I think we'll have some hail there. Baseball size hail in Superior. How about that? That may be the 5-star button that we needed. It's like connected to Louisville though. Yeah, so we're going to do baseballs now. Superior, and I'm going to say that's going to be just, I mean, let's just back it up here. Let's take a look at it here. You a real fine storm, won't you back it up? There we go. All right, so here's Superior right here. Oh, wait, here's Superior right here. So we're going to move this forward. Oh, that's where we got the, that's why we didn't talk about it there, because we didn't have the radar for there. How about it? All right, so here's where it happened at right here, though. This area right in here. Let's do the 2-panel here, because this I think is what's going to push us into possibly or quite likely 5-star territory here. All right, so here we go. Look at the CC. So we've got the storm right here, and then look how they just bottom out, just dump right here on this. I'm going to say that the baseball report is probably on the north side of Superior too. So we found a photo of baseball size hail, but I'm going to jump out on a limb and say that that is on the north side of Superior here. And this storm looks big time here, with some big time hail here. And then as we jump forward here, we've got our frame here to jump forward on. So this is earlier again, guys. So this is just probably 20 minutes ago here. But right in here, south side here, this area, also getting that. That's where that big hail. Look how low the CCs get here. Boy, they just dump out. I mean, and probably all the way up here. I mean, this storm meant serious business here. That's right. Got all kinds of good comments coming in here. So now let's take a look at where we're at right now. Oh, where did this little storm come from? We got another one up here north of Lafayette here. I didn't even know that one was there. They just keep going up. Whole thing here. I've never had anybody try to talk someone else into coming to their city to work, but at least talking about the hotels being nice, so he's working on it. There's usually no damage on any storm, but Rodney got to sit and watch the storm form on his back porch. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, it's going to town over here. So Wattenberg, is that they're about to get Wackenberg? That's what's getting ready to happen. So I mean, we're talking some serious hail moving towards Wattenberg. If it moves a little further north, it could get up towards Fort Lupton here. So we'll have to watch that here to see if it can actually move up into that area. So we've got, again, some serious hail right in here, moving directly right over Wattenberg, and then possibly up here to Fort Lupton here. So that's where the big time stuff is with that storm. Let's look at it, see what it looks like here. Look at that. Isn't that cool looking, guys? Let's give this a little. Just going to adjust this a little bit here. There we go. What do you guys think? Does that look cool? Alright, so here's our 3D mode here. So you can see, try to turn this where you can see it a little better. There we go. So I've got it right here. Look, there's the core. There's where it's falling out to the ground. The big core right up in here producing lots of big hail right now. All that's going to come crashing to the ground, and it's probably going to continue to filter and spin and twist over here. I want to take a look at the echo tops I see here. I can tell you the precip, and it's even being cut off. Can you see how it stair steps up right there? See that? I don't know if you can see it right here. It kind of stair steps up. The radar can't even see the whole top of that storm because it's gotten fairly close to the radar here. But let's take a look at it. Let's see. We've got a request for echo tops. Let's see what they look like. And again, it can't see the whole thing, so as high up as it can see, we're getting echo tops at about 44,000 feet. But I bet you it's making a run at about 50,000 feet. So Big time storm here, and probably the biggest part of the updraft is actually right here. But again, that tilt of that radar actually can't see it all. So it's having trouble seeing exactly where that storm is. So notice now we have 2 warnings though also, okay? So we've got the warning that's been issued here by the National Weather Service in Boulder, Colorado. Or did I say Denver, I guess? National Weather Service. Isn't it in Boulder though? So it's warned for 2-inch hail. That's actually a pretty good warning. It's probably a little bigger than that, but we'll take that warning. So they just issued a warning for this storm back here, headed towards Erie again. I would probably warn this guy back here. So this is El Dorado Springs is just to the south of El Dorado Springs here. It is pretty cold at 50,000 feet. You are right. So this storm is just to the south of El Dorado Springs here, moving to the east-northeast. Folks in Broomfield, get ready. We're going to add another line here to the south of Louisville and Superior. I'm learning all these towns here tonight because these storms just keep ripping through and just kind of layer south, layer south, layer south each time, right? So our echo top's not too tall with this one, but they have severe warned it. I'm assuming a report of quarter size or something like that must have come in with that storm. Either that or they've got them mixed up with the first storm that came through. But either way, severe warn, this one for quarter size hail as it moves off to the east-northeast. This little storm will impact Erie, or we could have some quarter size hail. We're going to switch back to our CC values so we can see what this storm behind is doing. And yeah, look at it. It's already bottomed out the CCs here. So we're already seeing things kind of drop off on this one. This one's already severe here. All right, so El Dorado Springs, just to the south of El Dorado Springs. It's running along, let's see here. It says Plainview Road. So we're talking Plainview Road right in here. This is where we're seeing it at. And this is where it's going. John says storm near Golden, so we may have storms going everywhere here. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Look at this one right over Plainview now. We've got another storm starting to go up. Look at this one though. Look at the inflow notch already on this one. This one's dropping quarter size hail, guys, up here just to the north, coming over the front range right now. Let's look at the echo tops on these down here. The Plainview storm, not tall yet, but this storm north of Golden right now, that storm is going up. I need to warn that one now. Well, look at the CCs already on that. That thing might be dropping golf ball size hail already. That storm, remember, we watched this storm. We talked about it being stronger than all the other storms before it even rolled out. Look at this. Let's back this up here. Here it goes right there. Fires up. And see, way out here, I mean, we're talking, here's Idaho Springs, here's Empire. This storm is way out in the mountains, and it's already producing small hail out here. Okay, I mean, to have a storm making hail, lightning, the whole bit, way out there, that is impressive. Anytime they can do that. But as this thing rolls out, look, it just continues to intensify as it moves across. And then boom, right there. There's a tennis ball report in Lafayette now, to the north of Lafayette. Makes sense there. 1 mile north of Lafayette, tennis ball size hail. We've had a couple of storms now do that. All right, look at this. I mean, we got the marker up. CCs have bottomed out. Again, when the CCs have bottomed out, we're talking 2-inch hail right off the bat, at least. The last several even tennis and baseball size hail. Okay, so this is south of Marshall. It's in between Marshall and Golden, Colorado. This would be on highway. It's now moved on top of Highway 93. Okay, so for those of you familiar with this area, we're talking Highway 93 here. Storm has now moved out. It's actually rolled out across Highway 93, and I think we're getting ready here. We're not there yet. We're close to moving into some pretty serious population here, though, as this storm continues to roll out. Now crossed over Highway 93. Look at it. Just completely completely dumped out there. Really low CCs on this, and this storm continues to intensify as it moves out. I think we're going to have a warning here, hopefully, here any minute with this storm. This is severe storm here, producing severe hail as we speak. I don't think that we're going to see everything that's kind of developed down to the south of this main feeder band here of storms. Really hasn't been able to do anything, and really I haven't seen too much fire back to the west of this one. So we'll see if anything does. We still have time. This could be it right here. We'll see this, but typically when it's that's the main show. So we'll see if that happens. But a lot of times that last storm is the one that does the crazy. Man, look at these storms out here though. Whew. Golf ball report. We'll have to watch out here, Fort Morgan here. So that's some of the bigger populations out here coming up into northeast Colorado. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye out on that. Common names every few minutes so we get a good frame of reference. Absolutely. So let's jump back here, kind of show what's going on here. So this storm down here is actually lifted to the north. So we're going to get Fort Lupton here. So Fort Lupton, Colorado here. So right down here we have Todd Creek. We have, what is that? You could see the names better than me, huh? So, so we are north of Denver, right here. So we're headed right towards Fort Lupton here. This storm is going to hit right on top of them, I think. Look at it. Yeah, it's definitely moving right towards the top of them. So Fort Lupton here, about ready to get some golf ball and probably tennis ball size hail. Looks like we just had a report of ping pong ball size hail. Yeah, I think that's a little older report in Frederick, so that would make more sense. And then our storm back here just to the north of Golden and to the south of Marshall. So it's kind of right here in this little rural pocket right here, but really continues to intensify, is dropping some serious hail here. We're going to take a look at a couple of different images here. Yeah, look at that. Nothing, nada. This storm means business here, guys. So it should actually, as it continues to roll out, it's going to get better moisture, and it'll actually expand it. It'll make it bigger. Typically what we've seen so far with everyone, we'll see if this trend continues, but as it rolls out, there it goes, it got a little bigger there, you see that? So as it rolls out, it'll hit its peak intensity first right here, and then it's almost weakened right in about this area and then redeveloped again right in here and really taken off again. So they've kind of cycled and pulsed, but they've almost done it in the same location. So we'll see if this one does the same thing as some of the others have. But for the most part, they've kind of done the same thing here. So we're going to switch to our different view here, and still producing the large hail here. We've got the real low CC values here. Good reflectivity here. Echo tops, everything looks great. Let's take a look at it here. Tall thunderstorm right here. Nice crisp back shooting anvil on it. It's got everything that you want to see here with a severe thunderstorm. The only thing it's missing is a warning from the National Weather Service, but they'll get it here in a minute. They will figure it out. I have faith in them. Fort Lupton, again, about to get blasted here. Storm, maybe, well, we'll see if it's going to weaken here. Just came down on its hail marker size, but it's got to dump all that hail out before it can do it. So it's like Greeley, Colorado always gets some. It could be, yeah. There it is. I knew they'd get it. Let's see how big they think it's going to be. Quarter size hail. Well, we can't all be winners. What'd you guys say? Fire the intern, they said. What do they have this one at? 2-inch hail still? Yeah, 2-inch. So again, we're watching two major storms right now on the north side of Denver. So in between Fort Collins and Denver, we've seen several other storms that have gone through this afternoon. I'm pretty sure that we are now at a 5-star hail map for the day. If not, we're really close. And I think that this next storm that's moving in right now, as it begins to roll out over the front range here, we'll see if this hell marker is going to spike up here pretty soon. But it's got the low CCs. Look at the green in this. Rolling out here, and I think now we are into some population here. We are starting to hit this neighborhood right here and this neighborhood just to the north. So this is, let's see here, this is going to be State Highway 128. So this is State Highway 128 that rolls right through here. Okay, and then north and south we've got, see, Indiana Street or County Road 5 is going to run north and south right through here. Okay, so that's basically the general area where this storm is. John says if the next storm does it, that's what it'll be. So, all right, so this area right in here, okay, so this is where our big hell is, and you can see it all matches up. Look, it's perfect. Matches up the low CCs. This is 2-inch hell here. It's kind of shooting the gap right here. We've got lots of population neighborhoods right in here, right up in here, and I think let's take a look at the satellite image under here. I'm going to remove the radar. Yeah, they haven't built anything here since we got satellite image, so it looks like they were building here, and then they were maybe doing some building right in here. Those of you from Colorado maybe know a little bit better, not for sure what this area is right in here. And so right now this storm is really like right through here. Shooting the gap right now, so they've done that a few times today, but managed to hit some pretty good population in the meantime. Look at that, CC's even so low here that we bottomed out completely. So this storm means business. Unless it weakens, we're going to see some nice hail out of this storm here. And it stayed pretty consistent here. We still have good lightning. Let's take a look at our echo tops, see where we're at here. Tall storm here, hail core right up underneath it. So continuing, the updraft continues to shoot up here. I haven't seen any 50,000 footers today, but this one's up there though. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're at 45,000 foot. So that's definitely been some of the bigger ones that we've seen. Yeah, there we go. We got some people getting excited about Broomfield. Jack said he's buying some green pants tomorrow. He's tired of everybody looking at me from the waist down. He wants everybody to look at him too. I hear you, Jack. So again, we're looking here for 5-star map. There are cows in those fields. Thank you, Matthew, letting us know what's going on in there. Storm has moved now though, so let's see here. Let's go back to our CCs. Let's see what we're talking about here. Still pretty low. They may not be quite as low as they were, but they're still really low here, right in here. Okay, so we're starting to roll out into Broomfield now just a little bit. It's still, I mean, you almost can't nail that gap of nothing right there. I mean, that's like perfect. So 45,000 is respectable. That is respectable, especially in Colorado. You already got an extra 5,000 on everybody else. So if that was out in Oklahoma, that'd be 52,000. How about that? Wait, you guys get an extra 5,000 feet. So it's like a cushion for you guys to work with, 5,800 feet, whatever it is up there. So actually a little higher out here, right? They're probably what, 6,000, 8,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet maybe. So here we go. So again, it's working on shooting the gap here, right through this little corridor right here. But right in here, lots of population right in here. So it doesn't have much further to go. It's got a little inflow notch. It's actually pulling it right over into the lake here. So it's pulling it right across the lake here. And there we go. Look at the hell marker just jumped up. We've been waiting on it. We said once it rolled over the front range, takes it about 10 minutes, and then boom, there they go. Every time today. So that's almost a 2-inch hell marker. So let's just gear it up. Let's get the text ready. We're going maybe 2.5 inch. Probably so. Probably tennis balls for Broomfield getting ready to happen here any minute. This is going to be big time. Fort Lupton, let's not forget about them up here. Did it make it? Kind of. I think we probably got some good hail up here in Fort Lupton, Colorado. Fort Lupton, Colorado. I think we probably got some golf balls. It was dropping it. It was doing the dump right on top, right just to the southwest of them, and I bet some leftovers made it in there. So looks good as it moved in there. Definitely was some good hail there. So Fort Lupton, you get some hail as well. I'm like Oprah today. We're getting hail for everybody. We're getting hail for everybody. We'll continue to work our way. Do we have any more storms firing up out here to the west? Maybe. There we go. Again, remember they've been firing back here by Loveland Pass, but they keep kind of coming down just a little further south. So I don't know if this little shower right here. Let's see, this is near Brookville. So I don't know if this will be one. We've got one just to the east of Georgetown right here. That could be one. I think I must have missed a comment. Not for sure what the time for a hot chick is, but I missed something, I think. Inside joke, maybe. All right, here we go. So here it is. Here's our reflectivity. Here's our low CC values right through here. Golf ball report already for the storm moving into Broomfield. Didn't take very long. Like I said, 2.5 inch hail. That's going to be our size with this storm here. Look at it. It's completely bottomed out the CC values here. Looks just like the other storms that have produced tennis and baseball size hail. The marker continues to jump up. It's now moving into Broomfield. There we go. We just got our alert. If you're following us with your alerts through your mobile app, tennis ball size hail is rocking and rolling here in Broomfield now. So we are in go mode for Broomfield, Colorado with tennis ball size hail. We're going to wait. We're going to track this thing frame by frame as it moves through here. Let's switch to single panel mode here. So we're going to be able to take a look at this just a little bit clearer here. So here's our storm. Kind of wraps all the way back here to the west. I'm not for sure what the name of this lake is here, and somebody knows it's a big lake. But wraps back to the west here and continues to move into Broomfield now as we speak here. So let's look at the last couple of frames so we can talk about what it's actually done here. So again, we watched it as it rolled over the front range, immediately started producing golf ball size hail back here in the mountains, which is pretty rare to get golf ball size hail back here in the mountains. Rolled it straight out, producing golf ball size hail as it did so. And there we are. So we're still dropping. Got the tilt. We've got our inflow notch coming in right here. There's our golf ball report way back here to the west. Right here, right over Stanley Lake, it looks like. Thank you, Carl, for the update there on our lake name. And you can see Stanley Lake has disappeared here because it is underneath our storm right here. Stanley Lake is right here. So we had a golf ball report back here to the west. This storm now moving in here to the north. Here's the center. Downtown Broomfield is right in here. But right here to the south, this is where the big hail is actually following. And so that's what we're going to be watching. It's supposed to be less of a chance than tomorrow. I guess tomorrow should be ugly. You know, I don't know what tomorrow is supposed to look like. That might be your local forecasters there. John might be able to chime in a little bit more with what he thought about tomorrow. But yeah, so here we go. So again, storm is still pumping across here. Let's look at, we do have a new frame. Man, look at that. Boy, just all green and blue in here. Dropping some big hail. And it's a real slow mover. Look how slow this storm is moving. I mean, so if we switch it back here to reflectivity mode, let's go back here to the back side. So we're going to place a marker. I don't know if you guys can see my little red marker right here. So we've got our little marker right here. And let's just see how long it takes for that storm to pass that location. All right, so it starts right about there. Maybe we'll give it a 2-minute delay there. So that is that's going to be 8:14 p.m. So this is 8:12 right here. So 2 minutes. We'll give it 2 minutes. 8:14. We start hailing at that location. We're talking golf ball size hail right there. Tomorrow has a good chance too. Nice. We'll take 2 days. And then It's still hailing on our last frame there, and we're at 8:25. So we're at 11 minutes still hailing, so probably have another 2 minutes of hail right there. So we're talking 13 minutes of hail right here. New warning just updated, it looks like. I think they got rid of the quarters. Hey, they're up to golf balls now. So again, we've been calling that for the last 20-25 minutes. Storm has a history of producing golf ball size hail, they said. We're going to have the National Weather Service in Denver down to our office to learn how to track hail. If they get enough of it, they should be better. Whew, it just keeps going here. All right, so here we go. So continues, new frame comes in. Look at all the pinks and the purples in here. This is one of those that you can kind of take it. This is what's actually happening. Look at the inflow notch on this. Just classic. Just sucking right into this storm. The storm continues to get better and better the longer that it is. And let's not forget about this up here. Look at this. See this? Right here, watch. Watch right here. So this is 10, 15, 20 minutes ago. We have our core right here, but look what it did. See that? Right here it splits. So this split moves right over Superior into Louisville, and so they're getting hit with the north split now. And now that north split is up here over Lafayette. Let's take a look at the CCs. Are they getting more large hail in Lafayette again? I think they might be. Let's take a look here. It's not huge, but they are getting hail here. Okay, so this is the north split. This is big hail down here. Broomfield to the south. Okay, so we're talking, let's get some roads here. Let's get some reference here. So State Highway 128. This is 287 as it comes from Westminster up into Broomfield there. So it kind of makes the windy curve there to get you into Broomfield. Big hail here. We're talking tennis ball size hail falling near Broomfield. Let's switch back to our radar reflectivity mode. Look at it. Just, I mean, it's going to parallel basically Broomfield, and just to the south, it's going to come rolling straight across the city here. Straight across the city here. Massive hail. Tennis ball size hail is going to move from Broomfield to the south, moving off almost directly to the east, almost due east. Maybe just a hint of north turn to it, but with this inflow coming in, it's going to be hard unless this storm weakens. Unless this storm weakens, it's not going to have much of a northward pull to it. So east-northeast, it's about all you're going to get. But for the most part, it's going to try to almost parallel. Let's see, that's 287, and then it turns into, if you just keep going straight west, so 287 kind of veers and runs down to the south to take you into Denver here. But we've got 128, State Highway 128, runs straight to the east to East Lake. So that's going to basically run from Broomfield right down 128 towards East Lake. I'm pretty sure, I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure this is a really nice part of town as well. I think we're going to see a lot of damage starting to come out of this storm, okay? If you are a Hail Trace customer and you have your clients imported into your account, when this storm is mapped, you need to pull a list of all of your customers that were impacted. They need emails. I think there's going to be some broken skylights with these storms, okay? So they need to get an email from you tonight, because if they've got, we keep having these rainstorms move through, and if they're getting water, they need somebody out to fix that quick, okay? So this is that type of storm where we're getting that type of volume of hail where we potentially could have busted skylights. I don't think we're coming through decking. This is not Colorado Springs level of hail, but we are getting some serious hail with this storm. So we're going to take a look at the CC values again here. Got them. They're still real low. The radar thinks the hail's gotten a little smaller. The radar's been a little crazy. Sometimes it's, you know, it just doesn't see everything that's going on with these storms. But this storm has a really nice structure to it. It's got a really nice inflow notch. It did kick off a split, and so there's a potential that split could cause a little bit of weakening with it. And again, remember, they've rolled out, they've weakened. We'll see if this one does. It's still dropping the hail though. We're still getting tennis ball size hail. This storm might be weakening, but it isn't done dropping hail yet. Okay, it's all got to fall out. So it's got hail you know, 50,000 feet, 45, 40,000 feet up, and it's got to dump all of that hail out before it can actually weaken, okay? And we're going to have to keep watching this north split up here because it's moving through some pretty good population as well. There we go. Louisville, Colorado has broken skylights all over. Sounds exactly right. You'd think this was not our first time doing one of these storms. It's not. We've done a couple of them. Man, look at this. Just great storm after great storm. And look, didn't take very long. Here we go, Evergreen. Look at it. Look at all that going up back here by Evergreen. So we're not done yet. Storm going towards what? The Evergreen one? Yeah. Yeah, so we got storms moving towards downtown Denver now. Again, those are developing by Evergreen. Okay, this one's not going to be done, I don't think. It's got great inflow notch going into it. We're going to switch here to take a look at our correlation coefficient to see. Actually, we're going to do a split frame just so I can see it a little bit better here as we dissect these storms live here. Looky here, so this split up here, it started to make some good hail as well. Look, so we've got our pink right in here, right? You see that? And then if we come back over here now, look, we've got this little pocket of green right in here. Okay, so the split actually started to produce some big hail. So second wave of big hail moving through the north side of Lafayette now. So we had some hail move up and over the city. Started out smaller as it moved through and actually grew as the storm moved through. Then we've still got our hail dump is still going on, still big hail. Look at the low CCs down here to the south. Let's edge this down here just a little bit so I don't have to squat down so low. So we've got our two storms, the north split here, and then we've got the southern storm right here anchored in. Look at everything sucking into this storm right here. Big hail right up in here, big hail right in here, okay? This storm trying to do a little bit of a cycle, so it's got to reorganize itself. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we get a little crazy, and so it's not doing what it wanted to. So now it's going to reamp itself up, recycle itself back up again, and we're going to have more big hail again as this storm continues to move through. It's still dropping big hail, so it's still dumping its hail. Let's look at it from a 3D standpoint. Let's see what it looked like here. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna back it up here. It's always fun to look at. So we back it all the way up here. This is before, so here's Boulder right up here to the north. So it's just now rolling out. It's already dropping golf ball size hail here. It didn't have a lot of them, but it was already dropping them. Okay, so it had big hail immediately right off the bat, but it took it a little bit before it got to the real high volume of big hail. But then as we move through here, look, it dumps that down there, and then watch, boom, look at that explosion right there. This is over Broomfield, right? So boom, it just goes up, drops significant hail here. Look at all that. Look at all of it. And then watch on the next frame, comes crashing down, and that's our last frame that we have. You can see classic storm though, look at it go up, tilt across the back, so we got a back sheared anvil on this thing. You can see it on radar, it's so good. Storm topping out, you got the overshooting top right here. Look at the bulge on top of the storm there. Just a classic super stealth. Still looks really well organized. Again, going through a little bit of a cycle here. Let's see, I think we had a new frame come in. We'll see what it looks like here. Yeah, still looks great. This storm still looks great. It's actually digging further south. So we're, you know, Federal Heights, North Glen, right in here. So again, we said it would kind of parallel and move straight down the line, and that's basically what it's doing here. The biggest hail right now is going to be right in here. Okay, so right in here. So we're Broomfield, east side of Broomfield, just to the north of northern, let's see here, North Glen. So just to the north of North Glen right here. North Glen is right here. And so it's going to be just to the north, right in here. This is where our biggest hail is going to be at right now, okay? And then we've got another pocket of large hail right up here near Erie again. Erie, probably the third or fourth time Erie's had big hail today. So they just continue to get rocked up there in Erie. I don't know how much rain they've had. So we've got these two storms right now. This one probably producing golf ball to 2-inch hail still. Still producing big hail. The low CC values, they all line up. Everything says, hey, we're rocking and rolling. We still got big hail going. Don't forget about me. And then our storm up here near Erie, the North Split. Little sister doesn't want to get left out, wants to make some big hail too. And so they're still going crazy up here. This one here, new frame comes in. Let's take a look at it here on the CCs. Look at them, they're still just bottomed out down here. So we're over East Lake now, moving into East Lake. So right in here, we've got golf ball size hail now. So again, the storm's still going here, still has really nice inflow coming in. It's a little harder to see because we've got all the roads on here. If we back it out just a little bit, you can see it just a little bit better here now. So here's North Glen. Wouldn't be shocked here. Let's look at the CCs there at North Glen. Yeah, look how low they are. So wouldn't be shocked still have golf ball size hail. It's not going to last very long because it's just this little appendage here that's making our hook or our inflow notch is basically everything wrapping around the back side here. So it's not going to last real long. We're probably getting some golf ball size hail even down here in North Glen with the way those CCs bottomed out. But right up here, East Lake, in between East Lake and Broomfield, we're getting some pretty serious hail in that area. Definitely getting some golf ball size hail. Our split up here, not looking quite as good as it did just a little bit ago, but probably still some penny to nickel size hail. Maybe a quarter or two in that. Let's go check our storm back here by Evergreen. So we had a new storm going up. It actually doesn't look quite as good as it did just a minute ago. But I also think, I think there's actually some pretty good peaks right in here because we got Golden here and they kind of swing around, if I'm right, down here to the south. So I think the radar may be blocked a little bit on this. So I'm not 100% sure, but we may have to watch this when it comes over the top of those into Pleasant View and Golden. This thing may be going to town and we may not realize it yet. So that is a definite possibility. This storm continues going crazy out here. So Hudson had some big hail. Moved through just a few minutes ago. Probably still, there's the end of it for Hudson. Our storm down here, starting to kind of cycle. It's finishing that cycle off. We'll see. It still looks really good. It has really good structure. So don't be shocked if this thing doesn't spin back up and try to nail Henderson here in a little bit. So Henderson, we're probably 20-25 minutes off from Henderson having at least an opportunity at some pretty significant hail. So we're going to have to watch that as this storm tries to recycle itself back up. Right about the same time that happens, I suspect that we will have our storm rolling out here over Golden, and we'll have a whole bunch here as well. John thinks it's going to do it before Hudson, and East Lake is going to get rocked. Wouldn't be shocked with that either. So wouldn't be shocked here, though, if this thing, Wheat Ridge, Arvada, sounds familiar from last year. Anybody remember that? Wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good. I don't think it'll be as bad as last year. These storms aren't as bad as the storm, I don't think, as last year, but definitely was some good hail. So 120th and Lowell. I don't know where that is. There's 108th. Just up on the north side of Broomfield, probably. All right, so again, continuing to watch this here. Let's go ahead and play the loop here. Take a look at exactly what we had with this storm here. Look as it kind of goes over and then just really explodes right here, right here on and really just to the south of Broomfield right there. Just really just takes off and just explodes. We have the split that kind of races off to the north there. Split eventually goes on to produce some quarter-size hail up near Erie or just in between Lafayette and Erie. I'm talking Lafayette, Colorado, not Louisiana. All right, south and east side of Broomfield, huh? Let's take a look at where that might be at here. 112th. that north of 287? Got an 1.5 inches, so it's a ping pong ball report that's come in. Here we go. And there we go. Now we start. Again, we talked about when would it do it. John said East Lake. He's going to be right. There we go. So we're getting ready to explode over East Lake now. So we've got, we've definitely got Colorado. Bring that to Kansas City. Okay, yeah, so north of 287. That makes sense based off of what we were seeing there. Kind of right at 287 to the south. Here we go, though, right in here. Look at this. This could be our new, look at the CCs. They bombed out again right down here. Just to the south of East Lake, just to the south of 287. Everything's kind of bombing out again here. Hell markers come up. Let's take a look at the echo tops. I don't think we're going to be able to see the whole storm, but it's going to be tall. Yeah, so we're not seeing the whole storm, but look how tall it is. The tallest part is probably right in here. New warning just now being issued. Let's see if they, see how they decided to issue it here. Golf ball size hail, they're going to keep it at that. I like that. I'm okay with that. So the storm, again, still a little bit unorganized, but it's redeveloping and reorganizing here. We just got a new hail report come in here. It's not going to tell us what size it was. Let's see, I think I might be able to get that on my phone here. Take a look here and see if we can get that hail report here on my phone. Got 1.25 inches, quarter, quarter. Golf ball size hail in Westminster, 1.5 inches. Golf ball size hail just now coming in on that storm too. So looking at some MPing reports as well. So right in here, we just had a report of it looks like golf ball size hail coming in here. So yeah, so we're back up here. We're going golf ball 2-inch hail now. The echo tops continue to jump up here. CCs are back down on our storm. So everything is coming back around here for some large hail here as we watch this storm basically take off. Let's get our reflectivity back up here and our CCs off. And there we go. There we go. That's what we wanted. All right, so we've got our hook here. If we kind of spin this storm up to the north, it's kind of a small little storm right now. It's not real big. It had its split takeoff. It's got its inflow notch coming in right here. This is where the biggest hail is actually falling right back here. If we look at the CCs, you can see they kind of match up. And if we back it up here right there, you can kind of use our blue diamond to relate just to the east of the blue diamonds where the good pink is. Just to the east of the blue diamond right here, that's where the blue and the greens are. That's how we know where the big hail's actually falling at in this particular storm. So again, we're dropping lots of probably a lot of penny, nickel, quarter size hail, and then we've got golf balls that are actually mixing in with this hail. Okay, and it's going to be easy for people to look out their window and see a ton of hail that's, you know, about like that, and that's going to be a lot of it. But there's so much hail falling that there's going to be golf balls mixed in, and unless you get out there and really dig in them, you're probably not going to see them. That's pretty typical with a Denver storm to get such a high volume of hail that they do that. So again, this storm actually kind of spinning back down even maybe a little bit here. It's still dropping big hail. It's got the low CCs, the great value, so we're still doing the hail dump. But the inflow not quite as pronounced as it was. We'll see. It's still got some here, so we'll see if that's enough to keep it going here. But definitely dropping some good hail over East Lake there, and continues to go to town there. Let's see here. We're going to see a whole bunch of hail reports come in back here here in a little bit. Just wait for it. I've seen them all. Our storm by Golden doesn't look very good right now. Look at it, it's just a big shower. You know what else I don't see? I don't see any lightning in it. Might not make it. We'll see. Frank said I guaranteed. Yep, see, I made the other storm go up. See that? 2.5-inch hail marker now, headed towards Henderson. I say it's dead, and bring it back to life. That's how we roll here. All right, so this again headed towards Henderson. Still producing golf ball, 2-inch hail. As this storm moves into the Henderson area. And we've been live for, I don't know, how long we've been live for, guys? My throat is sore. That's how long we've been live. So I mean, we're talking lots and lots of big hail going on here. So we're from Henderson here to East Lake. Right now moving from East Lake into Henderson. Big hail, still golf ball size hail, maybe up to 2-inch in diameter. There we go, new frame update here. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's really nice looking now. So again, this storm continues, damaging hail still falling right now as we speak. Out of that storm as it moves to the east towards Henderson. Our shower a little stronger there. I don't see any lightning yet, but it is a little stronger. Fact is, yeah, we're getting lightning, so no lightning in it, so it's just a shower as it sets right now. So again, so we're gonna have to watch this here and see exactly an hour and 20 minutes. Whew, I wonder, it's too much talking for me. All right, so here we are. So we're watching two things right now. We're wondering, is this little shower, is it going to turn into a thunderstorm here as it crosses over from Golden, from the mountains into Denver? So we've seen plenty of storms do this before. Last year, this is where the big May 8th storm came from. It actually came just a little south of here near Evergreen, and then exploded as it moved into city. So we're going to have to watch that. We're going to have to see if that storm's going to do it. Right now, it's just a shower. We're not seeing any lightning out of this. It's just some light to moderate rain, probably some big fat raindrops coming down, but that's about it. Then we've got our second storm. We've got actually the split right up here that has had a history of producing a couple of quarters. But right down here, we've got the big storm here. This is Henderson right here. So it's moving from East Lake, Colorado right here, moved right across, and now is in Henderson, or is about to be in Henderson. So we're right in between. So watching it here, you can see we still got the low CC values right in here. And the storm continued. It looks great right now. It looks great on radar. Dropping a lot of hail right here. Got the low CC values in the new update. Everything's staying the same. So this is going to rock and roll right into Henderson here. And it's going to continue to drop significant hail as it does so. Okay, so we're talking 5-star hail map here. No, Westminster, everything is out of Westminster. So Westminster is right back down in here. So we're not seeing anything. And actually most of it, I think it stayed to the north of Westminster. So it kind of shot the gap here, you know, right. So from Broomfield, parts south of Westminster, but kind of went right in here through the gap. Now it's went right over East Lake, and now we're headed into Henderson. It's going to go Todd Creek. It might make a run up towards Brighton, so we're going to have to watch that. Brighton's another fairly populated area, so we're going to have to watch that area as well. And we still have, these are some of the first storms that went out. So big time hail, Prospect Valley. Couple of houses out there. So we're going to see some big hail through that one. Man, that was dropping some really classic supercell there with that storm. Our storm over Brighton still going to town. Somebody said, just trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on here. got some pictures from a good buddy of mine, Scott Curry. Appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if he's watching the feed or not, but he sent me some pictures of. I don't know. What would you say, Scott, if you're watching? I don't know if you're watching right now, but definitely got some golf balls or close to golf balls in Westminster. So that'll probably be on the north side. He didn't give me an intersection, but ping pong ball somewhere right in there. Man, this storm is just going to town now over Brighton. Man, look at that. So we've actually gotten a report now of tennis ball size hail over Thornton. Is that how you say it? Thornton. So Thornton, Henderson, you're getting some massive hail in Henderson right now. Look at the size of this stuff. We're talking tennis ball size hail in Henderson now. This storm continues to just go crazy. I mean, it doesn't want to weaken here. So some big time hail. We've got a lot of some of the specklings of some of the smaller hail. So we've gotten some of the reports here, but we're seeing photos of much bigger hail through here. So they've just updated the warning now to tennis ball size hail. So yeah, the National Weather Service is picking up on this. Look how low the CCs get on this, guys. I mean, whew, just Todd Creek down to Henderson right here. Tennis ball size hail, big time hail falling right now. So this is massive hail. Scott, that was from his brother-in-law. Appreciate it. He's going to shoot us over the cross street so we can see exactly where that was. Love the reports that we get from all of our followers. Really means a lot here. Hey, eye damage finally got you a report. Those of you. Yeah, Scott, if you want to email them to John, that would be awesome. He's actually doing all those right now anyways, so that'd be awesome. We appreciate it. Scott Curry with Malarkey Roofing. Give him a little shout out there. Let's see here. All right, so we're sending out alerts for Henderson for tennis ball size hail now. Storm continues just to go crazy. I hope you guys are enjoying the live feed. We definitely have fun. It's long. My feet are even getting sore here. I'm definitely not doing the Dimitri. I don't know if you're watching or if you watch any of these, but I did not do the roofing challenge or the fittest roofer. I'm not the fittest weatherman either, so not anywhere close here. Showers back here to the west. They look a little stronger, but they're still just showers. We do have 3 lightning strikes though now. 4. All right, so we're gonna have to watch this here. You know, when that tennis ball report from a National Weather Service employee, that's always good too. So, gotta love that. So, Matt's been driving through it all. Whoa, where's that at?
That is Cold Creek Golf Course in Louisville.
Louisville is destroyed, y'all. Look at this. Oh, the green doesn't show up. Look at it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, so everywhere that you can see the road at or the radar, but through the phone, that is a golf course green, and then that is divots where all the hail put divots in it. So pretty crazy. Big time stuff. Lowell Boulevard and West 99th Avenue, ping pong ball size hail. And look at that. Boy, just in one frame, just explodes right there over Applewood, heading towards Wheat Ridge now. This is going to be interesting, guys. We got lots more lightning now. Look how quick it happens. Just as soon as it rolls over, just takes off here. Let's still watch the storm that's actually producing big hail. So now this is going to hit Brighton. So Brighton, you're going to get some big hail, or you are getting big hail. Brighton's getting big hail now. So it is falling. It's big hail in Brighton. 2-inch tennis ball size hail. We'll just call it tennis ball size hail in Brighton. Yeah, there we go. John's on it too. So we're both kind of thinking the same thing here. So Brighton, tennis ball size hail right now. Just went through Henderson, Todd Creek, that whole area. You are getting blasted right now. This is basically going to continue to move off to the northeast. It's going to move towards Lutchbuoy, whatever that is. Well, there's not much there. So once it moves basically east of Brighton here. We move out of most of the population, and this storm will move out into the high plains. But big time storm here. Still dropping tennis ball, baseball size hail probably in the Brighton area now. So the radar, again, the radar updates. So we updated at 8:55. So we're making a run at 10 o'clock my time here. So 8:55, the radar updated here, and so radar updated at 8:55, but it's almost 10 o'clock now. So this is about 2.5 minutes old. We'll get a new frame that'll come in here any minute, but big hail is falling in Brighton as we speak. There's our 2-inch report just coming in for Eastlake. We're going to have some 2.5-inch and bigger reports coming in. Radar's updating right now. The algorithms come in, so we're getting each individual frame of it as it continues to move out. Will continue to come in. Again, we're going to have some big hail come in. We're going to see several big reports come in for Eastlake. A bunch of these reports actually haven't filtered in yet, so this area right in here is just going to fill in with storm reports, I think. Maybe not, so we'll see. It doesn't matter. We've already got it mapped. We've already shown you what's happened. If you're a subscriber, we've got it. Let's take a look at the map. How about that? So here's what we had a couple hours ago when we looked at it. So we had the Louisville area getting blasted, or they were in the process of getting blasted earlier. We had Erie had already gotten hit. Boulder had already gotten hit. We had some, it wasn't too crazy, but we had some golf ball size hail near Longmont. Again, though, we track these storms live as they happen, so a simple refresh is actually going to show us what we've actually got going on. So let's take a look here. We'll do a refresh. And there we go. Trace wants to know my location, but that's okay. All right, so check it out now, though. So now we have the remainder of the Louisville Longmont storm. We've got our little pocket back here where the real big stuff came down at. We're talking baseball size hail. We've had a second area of really large hail right in here, and then we've got our track just blasting right across here, just to the south of Broomfield, in between Broomfield and Westminster, and again dropping golf ball 2-inch hail. Right in here, we jumped up to tennis ball size hail, maybe even a little bigger, right as we get into the Eastlake area, Thornton, and then moving into Brighton as we speak, with tennis ball size hail right now falling in Brighton. Here's where our storm's at up here. The second one, and then we're still tracking this storm up here. So all these storms kind of crisscross, and this thing just continues live, and we continue to track this thing all the way across. Reports of thunder now in Wheat Ridge. That's going to be back to the west. So let's go take a look at the radar. Let's see what we've got going on. So again, there, Brighton, we said it was getting blasted. They're definitely getting blasted. Look at that. Wow. Brighton definitely got blasted. Yeah, Brighton absolutely wrecked. There's a tennis ball report that's come in now. So just some big time hail. And then this storm back here, it's still not going yet, but we're still seeing the lightnings increase in here. Look at all the lightning strikes now starting to happen here. So it's getting stronger. We don't see the low greens and all that stuff here. We don't see all the pinks here. So it's not anything crazy, but we are getting some big hail. Or we're not getting big hail yet, but we're going to watch this for big hail. This is going to be interesting to watch here. So let's see here what all we got going on here. Mm-hmm. Well, I've gotten them via email. Oh. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just going to check and just kind of trying to keep everything going here. we are still here. Just checking in, making sure everybody, look, we got an updated core here now. Here's our core. You can see it starting to get a little red in there. Lightning continues to increase here. So we're going to make a run at hour number 2 here, I think, with this storm. We'll see if it can take off here. So it's just to the south now of Arvada, near Wheat Ridge. You might have some small hail with it, but nothing too intense. We'll watch this little core back here to the north of Golden as well. We'll have to see if that one can take off. This one basically gonna V-line from Wheat Ridge to Commerce City. I think if it's going to get going, it's probably going to be a little closer to Commerce City. So again, we're looking right now, for those of you joining us, we're near Denver, Colorado. Here's downtown Denver right here. This is Wheat Ridge. So this is a suburb of Colorado, Denver, Arvada and Wheat Ridge right in here. Not big hail right now. So we've been talking about other storms for about the last hour and a half, and this is the last one now moving out of Brighton, Colorado, where we had, hey, everybody's already knows how long our batteries are going to last here, so hopefully we'll just be able to kick that sucker on and keep things rocking and rolling here as we head into to our next storm. But this storm moving out of Brighton produced tennis ball size hail as it moved through Brighton and Henderson, Todd Creek. Started dropping the tennis ball size hail near East Lake. Really just went bonkers over there. So again, yeah, we appreciate everybody, those of you watching the feed here. Make sure to like and share this video. Follow the C3 group. Those guys sponsor this. It costs a lot of money. I don't know if you guys know, but this is not free for us to produce these videos and make these things happen for you guys. So we really do appreciate all your watches. Make sure to share. And if you're going to buy a hail map, we'd appreciate it if you bought it from us. That would be awesome. We do the best that we can to get you in the right spot, and we have meteorologists on staff here to help you, and so we want to do everything we can to make you successful. So, reach out to us. I think we've got a link in the thread for the hail map. The C3 group, our sponsor for the videos, the guys that make this thing possible, they're on here. Make sure to like their page. Reach out to them if you need a public adjuster. All great guys. So, man, we've been live now we had a break, came back on again. The break was maybe for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Been live for basically 2.5 hours, maybe longer than that. I don't know. We've been going, I think it's since 6:30. So we're probably, 2.5 hours. So again, storm now moving out of Brighton though. So this storm still dropping huge hail, but moving out of Brighton. And so now we're going to watch the storm back to the west here. Let's make sure that I think it's going to miss Greeley. So this was our north split right up here. The Aristocrat Ranchettes, I've had to say that one a few times, so that's been a little crazy back there. But here we are. So we're watching this storm back here by Arvada to see, is this storm going to take off? So that's the question. It's been trying. It's actually probably raining over Westminster. It's moving a little further. It's got more of a northeast movement to it, and which lets me think it's probably a little bit elevated. So it doesn't have a nice base to it to anchor it down and really allow it to kind of take off. So so we're gonna have to see exactly what will it take off. I guess we have a hail spike here somewhere. John said, look at that hail spike. Oh, right there, look at that. Phew. So you can see right here. So this is just a little meteorology right here for you. So the radar is right here, and you can see the beam is shooting straight up through this storm. But it's actually refracting off of the hailstones, and it's making it look like this is precip right back here. But this is actually what's called a hail spike. So this storm's probably producing baseball-size hail, massive hail. But you can tell that it's producing it because of that hail spike. Pretty cool stuff when we get to see that. So now we're watching back here to the west. And so, I mean, if you look at the hail map that we produced, right, here it is. So it's probably updated a little bit more since I took this photo. So we'll refresh it here. We'll give you the new update here. So again, these things update. There we go. Now we've got the purple in there. So here we are. So again, look at this swath as it kind of ejects off to the north and east here. Look at all this hail. I mean, but look, so I basically started here, next storm, next storm, next storm, next storm. So they basically, they fired way out here in the Rockies, and then as soon as they hit the front range, they take off, and then they start to produce hail almost immediately. So we're at? There we go. Baseball report 1 mile west of Brighton. So that one should show up here any minute now. So again, and we just said this storm is producing baseball-sized hail. So there you have it. Kind of easy though. Get the little hail spike up there. That's easy to throw out baseballs on something like that. Now the question is again. So this storm is now moved off. It's no longer over the high population. We've got our north split right up here, which is still producing some hail, maybe a quarter or two, but nothing too significant. So we've got isolated quarters. We've got baseballs here. We'll probably have baseballs with this storm that's just right off the map, but right up here. So the question is this going to produce severe weather? And so that's what we're watching. We're literally sitting here, and there's a little hail marker now starting to show up on it. So that might be it. We're going to have to see here. By the way, this is a 5-star map now, for those of you wondering. This will be a 5-star storm. So kind of crazy. We've made 6 now 5-star maps this year. 2 of them in Colorado, 2 of them in Texas. That's 4 for those of you not great at math like myself. That's 2/3 of our maps have come in Texas and Colorado that were 5-star maps. Those are the 2 states. Those 2 states are typically number 1 and number 2 for hail in the United States. So they will do it again this year. They'll be the top 2 markets, I'm assuming, for hail. And that's just the way it rolls. That's the way they are, both of them. So you've got, basically we had the Plano-Allen storm, and then we had the Carrollton-Irving-Arlington storm down in Dallas. Then we had Colorado Springs last week, and now we're going to have North Denver so far. Everything's been north of downtown Denver. This storm, second storm now trying to go up, is also going to be north of Denver, if it can even get going in time. It's holding back, so it's holding back here. So we're going to have to see here. John's saying the pictures, the photos that we're finding as we go through and just continue to scour over this entire area. We're talking all the way from Fort Collins all the way down to Westminster. We're scouring through this area finding these hail reports. And yeah, there's just a bunch of it. This storm continues to intensify, but it's still pretty unorganized. If we look, all these hail reports are from the first storm that actually came through, but we've got a little core here, little core up here over Broomfield. So you're seeing some more heavy rain in Broomfield right now. Maybe a little lightning and thunder, especially with this southern core just to the south of Broomfield. We've got some lightning and thunder with this core here over Westminster. And we're starting to see maybe the potential of some hail beginning to develop over Thornton. The biggest hail was just to the north of there, just barely, but it's going to be really close. It's going to be right at it. And I think we're going to see some pretty serious potential for damage or for hail if it can actually develop in time. It's going to be close. Right now, the one that looks the most intense, this one back here to the west, we can take a look at it in 3D mode. Let's see if there's anything worth looking at here. So there's that whole cluster right there. And you can see a nice outline. We can kind of zoom in here. I don't see anything too crazy. So we've got, we can see a couple different orange spikes, but until these can kind of consolidate and figure out who wants to be the winner today, I don't know that we're going to get anything going with it. So we're going to have to keep watching this here and see here frame by frame. Each frame, it seems to get a little stronger, a little more organized. I also wouldn't be shocked kind of see this tail coming back down here to Pleasant View and Wheat Ridge. We'll have to watch this area right in here because this could take off a little bit too. You can see the storm Broomfield, this one right here. They both get a little bit stronger here. This would just add insult to injury. So this area, a lot of this area has already been impacted with hail. So it would just be an additional wave of hail if it can get going. This would actually move into East Lake and Brighton where they've already had some pretty significant hail. So yeah, so this is still an ongoing situation here. We're trying to see, you know, when is it going to stop here in Denver? And so far, you know, our last storm now has moved out of Brighton. There's our baseball report in Brighton now. So not shocking. We just had a hail report here in, I guess it's Loch Buoy, maybe. So again, some big time hail there. So this is some, yeah, they're getting some baseballs up in there too, or they just got baseballs. And now that one's kind of pushing off to the east. And we're just waiting. This is kind of we've got a couple of showers back here, but for the most part, this is it right now. So the question is will this storm take off here? That's the question. So right now we've got showers, thunder showers, if you want to call them that. I don't see any hail except for maybe some pea-size hail in this little neighborhood south of Broomfield, and maybe right over Broomfield right now. You might be getting some pea-size hail, but that's about the only location that I see any actual ice actually falling out of the clouds. And then we've got just some thunder and lightning down here to the south near Wheat Ridge. We've had off and on light to moderate showers down here, and we'll see if those can take off. This would be the one that has the good inflow coming into it. So, you know, you would see that as being a potential for it to actually do so, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if it can do it or not. Let's see here. There we go. So our marker continues. It's kind of interesting where the marker keeps popping up at on this one. So it's going to make a run up at East Lake. So there's probably some small hail now with this storm right in here. So this is Thornton. This whole area, I think it may be just to the north of here, but right up in here already got blasted. And they might get some more hail here in just a second. They're at least going to get some more rain. Those people that have skylights busted out in this area, which just got plowed, they're probably going to have some pretty. There's golf ball report just came in there. So, like I said, these reports are going to keep trickling through. I think the National Weather Service just trying to keep up with everything that actually occurred. So we've seen some of these reports kind of start to trickle off here. Storms look a little better on that frame, so a little stronger. We've got two separate cores that we're watching. I don't know if this one's going to be able to take off in time, though. Just to the east of East Lake now. South and east of East Lake. Looks a little stronger. We're definitely getting some hail falling out of it, but it's all small. And then this shower has kind of tailed off here, but we have some lightning and thunder back here, so it could take off. There we go. All right, guys, give me 1 second here. We're going to swap batteries. All right. Smooth and seamless there. So again, talking about these two cells right here right now. So we are getting some small hail back here in Broomfield again, but nothing significant yet. And then we have a second storm. This one shows the most promise right now. This one's going to go straight towards Henderson, maybe even Broomfield again if it takes off to the northeast a little bit more. Lots of lightning still showing up here. We've got lightning really through this entire storm. So you've got this kind of long storm here that drapes out with the strongest part right up here to the north. Currently, I still wouldn't be shocked to see this recycle back down here to the south. So we're going to have to watch this area here. And then we've got all of this hail up here in Broomfield. This is going to be a real popular area that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Again, right now, pea-size hail, it's pulling in everything through this rain right here, so all the inflow. It is Colorado, so it's still possible. So I'm going to watch this, see if this is just going to add insult to injury or if we're just going to get some pea-size hail out of it. And then we'll see what this guy's going to want to do here. While we're at it, we should definitely take a look and make sure that none of this storm over here continues. Look at this thing. Just going crazy out here. Baseball, lots of baseball size hail. And we've got a little shower back here near Rollinsville, but again, doesn't look too significant yet. So again, we're looking at this little shower right here. This is kind of where they all keep forming. But I got a hunch that there's probably some sort of a boundary that's been created basically right here through Arvada. And that's kind of what's holding everything back. This little line right here is actually the mountains. So that is the radar picking up the mountains, and then these are some showers that are forming up above the mountains, and that's kind of what you're seeing there. So we just got to wait. I'm going to sneeze here on you. All right, so we're just going to have to wait and see if these particular storms are actually going to take off or not. And that's the question. We're going to have to just keep watching them here. So we just had a new radar frame update, and they don't look over promising right now. Again, 2 pockets of probably some really small hail. So right here between East Lake and Henderson. So right in here, that's what we're talking about. East Lake, Henderson, north of Commerce City, by about 10 miles here. We're looking at that area. Pea-size hail right in there, maybe a penny or dime in there, and then some pea-size hail on the north side of Broomfield. And right across 287 here, again, we got some pea-size hail coming down with that cell as well. Curious, again, will it maybe kind of develop back down here to the south? I think if anything is going to produce large hail, it would have to be this tail end down here near Arvada and Wheat Ridge. And so far has shown 0 sign of actually being able to do so. So I'm a little unsure if it's actually going to be able to actually get its act together. So we'll give it a couple of minutes here. We'll see what it can do. And if not, well, it looks like Fort Morgan is going to get hit here. Looks like it just missed it there. So let's look at Fort Morgan here. So here's Fort Morgan right up in here. So the biggest hail on this guy went just to the north of Fort Morgan, but that's not going to be it. Look at this one. This one's V-line in it right here. And CCs, they look pretty good right here. We've got a nice lower chunk right here where the updraft on this storm would be. Now we're going to analyze this storm pretty high up. They don't put a radar out here by Fort Morgan. Well, we're not too bad. We're about 3,000 feet off the ground, so not too bad actually. So that's probably a pretty accurate depiction of what's going on. We got some big hail. We're talking 2-inch hail up here to the north. To the northeast of Fort Morgan right now, and then we've got probably isolated golf ball size hail right now just to the west of Fort Morgan, moving in the general direction of Fort Morgan. We'll see if that thing can take off. And then we've got this storm that will eventually, if it holds together, will move into Fort Morgan. That would be, in about, say about 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour from now. So half an hour to an hour from now, it'll cross Wiggins and then move directly over Fort Morgan. Although the atmosphere is going to get fairly overturned. Look, so you got a storm here, 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 here. There's a lot of severe weather going on in this area, and so it's causing a lot of pretty nasty weather. It's also overturning the atmosphere. It's creating kind of a nasty, a nasty mess, and keeping things from really getting going crazy. So we'll see here. We no longer have any hail markers, it looks like, on our stuff back here in Denver. So that little yellow, the pennies, kind of starting to fall out right in here. There are a couple little specks of some pink in there, but nothing serious coming out of this. This shower looks like it maybe even has weakened a little bit, and not seeing a whole lot down in here near Westminster or Arvada, just some light sprinkles and occasional lightning and thunderstrike. So I think we might be getting ready to see things kind of wind down here in Denver, Colorado. So I think we are going to try to wind this coverage up here. So again, we're going to watch, just kind of recap. We had several areas that have been impacted with large hail today. Basically from Westminster Westminster to the north, or just to the north of Westminster, all the way up to Fort Collins. We've got a lot of severe weather activity. We're still watching stuff moving towards Fort Morgan, so we're going to see if that'll happen. There are some showers and some lightning still ongoing in the Denver metro area, so if anything does look like it's going to take off, we'll be here. We'll be ready to rock and roll, but for the most part, man, we've had fun. We've been with you guys since, I want to say 6:30, 6:45, so almost 3.5, 4 hours. Going strong here, tracking storms in the Denver metro, and it's been a lot of fun. And it may not be over with yet. We might have more to go. So if so, we will jump back on here and go live. Special shout out to the C3 group for sponsoring our videos. We really do appreciate those guys. Some really cool stuff coming that we're going to be doing. We'll actually be in Denver, hopefully here in a couple of weeks, to engineer some stuff so we can test different material and determine what size of hail actually damages those materials. So we're really excited about that. A lot more to come. A lot of really cool live video of us driving into storms just like what happened right up here. So we're going to see some more of that. We're going to see some live video of us doing that in those storms as well. So special shout out C3 group. Make sure to go give them a follow. And we really appreciate everything that they do and allowing us to keep this feed going. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the feed. Hopefully you learned something about storms. Hopefully you learned something about Denver storms. And hopefully you learned something about all these severe storms that happened today in Denver. And I think we've got a chance to do it all again tomorrow. So we appreciate you guys for watching. And please feel free to ask any questions. Message us. Download our app. We have a really cool way for you to chat with us or our meteorologist through our app. And again, if you're going to buy a hail map, hey, wouldn't hurt. Buy it from us. We'd appreciate it. And we appreciate everything you guys do. Take care. And it's been great chatting with you.